Hello, friends. How are you? I am back in Colorado after a 2.5 week adventure that I called our lifestyle education adventure. One of the things homeschooling has taught me is that we have so many opportunities to teach our children. As an educator, I love it's driving me nuts that my collar's crooked. There we go. The OCD, or as I like to say, CDO, just doesn't stop. Um, well, as an educator, I've always loved teaching my child. I think it's my number one responsibility, and it's one of the things that those of you who know me know we focus on our uniqueness. So, one of the things that makes me unique is that I have an education background. So, I'm always thinking about the continuum of human development, the 16 habits of mind that the world's most successful people exhibit, the three things that make people influential. And I'm cultivating those skills and building leadership in my daughter all the time. And so when our home sold in way earlier than anticipated, market research indicated it would take 3 to 4 months. So we anticipated a February move date. It sold in 3 days. We were not anticipating that. I was planning on relocating to a new build, and construction fell behind schedule, which totally derailed me and threw me off. And we were displaced. And I thought, you know what? I know how to turn obstacles into opportunities. And as a result, turned the obstacle into a lifestyle education adventure. And I called it because it seemed like things weren't going our way, right? We had a lot happening. Managing 5,800 square foot home and Airbnb, 5 acres, the barn was a lot. And when my cancer diagnosis arrived 2 days after being laid off, I had to recalibrate and ask myself, is this all really worth it? And while I loved our country life, there were parts of it that I felt weren't worth it. The home was really old and built in the 80s. And so there were always things that needed fixing. And I'm not a fixer upper kind of gal. So I had to use what I know about leadership is to practice self awareness and see, are you able to do the things that this circumstance and situation requires? And the answer was no. The mortgage was also $7,000 a month, which put a lot of performance pressure on me as a business owner and single mom without any financial support coming in from elsewhere. And so I thought there are probably better ways I could be using my money. So we did what design thinking calls divergent thinking. So you start with empathy and kind of have compassion for what's happening. So I practiced that compassion and empathy on myself and my daughter and honored the fact that this had been incredibly hard and that the last year and a half has been a difficult journey. And then from that place, imagined how might we design our best life? How might we design our best days? And Gigi and I engaged in discussion about that. Again, that's me taking the leadership role in our family. This is called high performance leadership. Some of you are in my high performance leadership academy. That's why we're cultivating our leadership skills because we are leading each and every day, whether we're aware of it or not. Every single day, we lead the most difficult person on the planet. That's ourselves. I call it the empowered leadership model. If you picture three nested circles, we all lead ourselves. Some of us have the great honor of leading leaders, and fewer of us have the great honor, or sorry, I'm messing it up. I'm a little sleep deprived. We didn't get home till after midnight last night, and we have been buzzing buying a new home in Florida. So I am like, I don't think I've slept in about 2 weeks. But anyhow, I'm fired up and excited about life. So, empowered leadership model self is the big circle. Those of you who are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, tune into YouTube just so that we can see one another. So you've got this big circle for self, and it's SOL because there's a little play on words behind that for those of you who know. If you know, you know. So S, then a smaller nested circle. O stands for others. Some of us have the great honor of leading others, and even fewer have the honor of leading leaders. And so, with that, we all have to embrace a leadership role in our lives and build leadership skills. I want you Googling top leadership skills of 2024 and choosing to invest in yourself. One of my coaching clients, her goal is she said, you know what, self care. just feels fluffy and it's the last thing that comes on my list of things to do. I'm going to call this self investment because it is a critical investment in myself and in my business and in my family. And I said, yeah, I celebrate you. You know who you are, KA. So that is incredibly exciting that we have that as an opportunity to lead our best lives. I hashtag in my head, lead your lifestyle. Our lifestyle ambition fuels our career goals. I learned that as a broke as a joke educator. When my daughter came to me saying, Mommy, I want to ride English and canter, it sounded like this: Mommy, I want to ride English and canter. And I was like, I grew up riding waves, so I had no idea about horse life. So English riding and canter were not in my vocabulary. I said, Sweetheart, can you tell mommy one more time? She said it again, exact same way. And I said, one more time. And she got frustrated and went and grabbed the iPad, showed me what she was talking about. And I almost said, Oh, sweetheart, we can't afford to do that. And something inside of me clicked, and I said, Not today. So, what ended up happening, I reflected and I thought, you know what? In schools, as an educational leader, you tell kids all the time they can be and do anything they want. And you're getting ready to tell your kid we can't because we can't afford it. That broke my heart to tell the one I love the most that we can't. So I decided to use our lifestyle ambition of an equestrian life to fuel my career goals. I started studying and mapping because remember, I'm an educator. So part of my uniqueness is that I know how to develop curriculum. I know how to create engaging instructional design that's joy filled and personally meaningful for learners. So I went and did some skills mapping. I mapped the skills that would generate the most profit for myself as a CEO and business owner and as an expert educator. So I study corporate culture, organizational change, because guess what? If you don't know how to manage change, you don't know how to manage your life in this world, right? So that was a subject area I studied a lot of: neuroscience and human psychology, high performance, leadership, cognitive dissonance. Those types of subjects are things that I immerse myself in. I also love studying anything related to the human spirit. So, spirituality, a little bit of religion, more related to the Bible, because I started to see in verses of the Bible connection to the 20 years of research in leadership. And I was like, oh, maybe I should pay attention to one of the books that's been on the planet for the longest period of time, that's the most read. As a scholar, I can appreciate that. And I started to see a lot of really key lessons that the world's best leaders exhibit. Excuse me while I take a drink. And I started to see these patterns and I built skills. That's what High Performance Leadership Academy is. We build the skills that are essential for 21st century success. And some of them are skills that you would be surprised by. Things like leaning into your intuition. A lot of them are related to our femininity, which is really important. So, with that, today's focus is energy. And I'm trying to find my notes because I designed this on the plane. But I honestly, I think I started like 14 notes pages. Oh my goodness. Um, Here we go. I literally do have, look at this. Let me go back. Look at all of these. Do, 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 do. These were all from the plane. Yeah, all the way down to here. 16 Habits of Mind Research was the last one. And those were all put me on a 4-hour plane ride in the middle of the night. And guess what? My wheels are turning and I'm on fire right now. I cannot believe I'm going to have to start a blog or something about all of the miracles that happened when we were in Florida on our lifestyle education adventure. So I decided to call it the Extraordinary Life Edit, L, and that's what I just love. So, um, I was thinking about how could we edit our lives? Remove, like, God and the universe removed a lot, right? They removed my quality of health and I had to fight for my life. They removed my 9 to 5. They removed my home. So there's a lot of things that have been removed naturally for me. And then I also thought about what kinds of things can I selectively remove that are no longer serving me? If I was courageous, what would I remove? What would I say no to? What boundaries would I establish? So I started doing that. And then the lifestyle education adventure was a component of the Extraordinary Life Edit. So that is going to be saved for another day, my friends, because the miracles that happened every single day could only be explained by God. And so I've really got to do some thinking and journaling about that and aligning the story. I've been posting a little bit here and there. It has been Like wake up at 6, run through real estate options, go through from house to house from like 8 to 8. Literally, we're from like sun up as early as it is appropriate to literally sundown, and then out to dinner, and then on the phone and discussing and debriefing. I have met the most incredible realtor, and that happened. I got to just save the story. Anyhow, it is absolutely amazing when you invite miracles, when you energetically align yourself. And today's subject is energy, my friends. I want you to Google this: Dr. Emoto, EMOTO. Let's see what water crystal research. Let's use those words. Those search terms will get you, and then click images and look at the pictures of what happens to water when different words are spoken to it. So I want you to think about the vibrational energy of your words. I want you to think about the vibrational energy that you cultivate in your body. If you haven't done my New Year, New You strategy yet, I need to get that for you. Let me, um, there we go. I'm going to put this in the comments right now. If you haven't done this yet, it is a must do, because what this strategy is instead of setting resolutions, instead of setting goals, we're setting our energy. Because when you approach each day with vibrant energy, you will 10x your goals. You don't have to worry as much about that never ending to do list that exhausts you and drains you. You can set those goals that energetically fire you up. Okay. So that's what I want to see you doing is spend 3 to 7 minutes in the morning. This training will tell you exactly what to do. And the best part, if you're like me, you're doing a million things and therefore you value efficiency and time. So I built it where you can do this while doing your hair and makeup, while brushing your teeth, while in the shower. You can multitask. I'm all about hashtag efficiency. So get the New Year, New You training and start deploying that strategy immediately. I highly encourage you to document your mood in the morning. That when you wake up, scale of 1 to 10, I do this in my high performance school scorecard. Mood at wake from a scale of 0 to 10. And then you do your New Year, New You strategy. Then you run through your day with great intention, showing up with clarity as your 3 words. I want you to see my live from a few weeks ago that was done on the beach. If you haven't done that one yet, that is mission critical to your success. And then from there, at the end of the day before bed, mood, end of day. And what you'll notice is when you focus on energy, your mood improves throughout the day. So it's like your energy increases when most people, remember that mediocre middle, those of you who train with me, you know we always use the normal distribution to say what would most people do. Most people, they start with a half to 3/4 full tank because they're not practicing energy management, and that's how they start their day. They caffeine up and get a little spike, and then they drop, and then they come up after having a sugar rush or caffeine spike between 2 and 4, and then it diminishes. High performers play using a different playbook. That's what we study in High Performance Leadership Academy with each module. One of those modules is energy. And so high performers start high and they consistently stay high. Do they experience fatigue like a human being? Yes, they're human, but they don't experience those significant dips that exhaust us. And so they stay in a higher vibrational frequency. That is mission critical, my friends. So let's talk energy. I'm going to start doing a teaching point in each of these weeks. And I want you to call it in your notes, label it in all caps or bold or underlined, critical concepts, because these critical concepts are going to become the knowledge that informs your emotional response, that informs your choices. And those, when you take emotion, knowledge plus emotion plus action equals change. So when you're aspiring to make a change in your life and grow, you need knowledge, you need emotion. That's why I'm here to pump you up. And then you've got to take action. So, critical concepts for this week: energy is your currency. Write that down. Energy is your currency. When you manage energy, you gain time. Everybody needs more time, right? I don't know about you, but at the end of Q4, I'm usually like, gosh, I wish I had another month in the year. High Performance Leadership Academy and the strategies we teach taught me how to do that. I actually get 5 extra weeks. I've calculated and ran the minutes because I love to hashtag manage the minutes is something I run through my head as an operating system for my life. And managing the minutes, I get 5 more weeks a year by choosing to live with the principles and operating systems of the top 2%. not the mediocre middle. So I get 5 extra weeks. And some of it is because of my energy choices. So here's some big ideas that I want you to think about. What you eat after 2 p.m. determines the quality of your sleep, which determines and sets the stage for the day ahead. That's a new thought, right? I never used to think of that. Usually, what I would eat around 2 p.m. before learning these high performance strategies, in all honesty, was grab a handful of peanut M&Ms from the Ping Kitchen. Or before that, when I was on the road serving the lieutenant governor working on innovation across the state of Colorado, I would typically pack things in a little cooler because I was out of my bag a lot. So sometimes I'd have a banana or a handful of nuts. And sometimes when I didn't plan appropriately, which is one of the 16 habits of mind, on the days I did not plan appropriately, I would swing by Chipotle and end up with 1,000 calories, an entire day actually, an entire day's calories as a like afternoon snack. It was awful. I was making a lot of terrible choices, and those choices made me feel even more fatigued, which made me turn to caffeine. And then by the end of the day, I was so exhausted, I couldn't wait to have wine 30 roll around, and that impacted the quality of my sleep. Caffeine also impacts your cognitive functioning and your brain's ability to reason logically. So the quality of decisions are diminishing. You just see a lot of impact of the choices that we make biobehaviorally. And so I had to realize that if I want to 10x my career growth, I'm going to have to make some strategic changes in energy. I'm going to read you some choose your own adventures today. So, that big idea, I want you to write that down too. What I eat after 2 p.m. determines the quality of my sleep, which sets the stage for the day ahead. Write that down. Then we're going to move into the third part, which is aligned action. So, critical concepts, big ideas, aligned action. Each week, we're going to have our journals or our notes, note catchers, I like to call it in my notes. The note catcher has those 3 sections. So let's recap. Critical concepts. Energy is your currency. When you manage your energy, you gain time. We all know time is money. So you can put a little $ there, make your notes cute. Big ideas. What you eat after 2 p.m. determines the quality of your sleep, which sets the stage for the day ahead. So if you want to have an amazing day, if you want to wake with vibrant energy and patience for your child, who may or may not be driving you nuts at the moment, if you want to wake with vibrant energy so that by 11, you've achieved all of your goals for the day and have some free time to practice self investments, to work out, to meal plan and prep, to go for a walk in nature, to truly enjoy living your life. I don't know about you, that is worth it to me. That was worth giving up the wine at 4 p.m. I will tell you that. Next one, aligned action. This is something that continues to blow my mind. This wasn't something I planned to talk about, but I'm noticing how God works through people, and this wonderful woman sent me this morning. So it is on my mind. Let me see if I can find it. It was a text, so let me pull this up. Oops. It says, follow me one step at a time. And I read that headline and I thought, oh my gosh, God delights in the details of our lives and directs the steps of the godly was a scripture that blew my mind because as a strategic planner with a 12-page life plan in all great 8 dimensions of life that I've made up that are important to me, I kind of giggled like, oh, the next step. I'm so focused on the entire marathon that I forgot to lace up my shoes. Often that's my reality. And I love the big picture. And so the big picture really does inspire me. So I need both. I need to remember, I need to have that vision. And I also need to delight in the details of this moment and trust that God is directing my steps. I can't wait to tell you about my Florida adventure because that I was not planning on buying a house. I arrived in a city for the very first time, had never been there, never seen it, and a week later had toured every nook and cranny of that town and all five, no, one, two, three, four, five, 6 adjacent towns. I I covered the entire world horse world capital of the world and in a week and made that decision. Every door just kept opening in amazing ways that I can't wait to tell you about. And so God will delight in the details of your lives. He will direct your steps if you pay attention. And to pay attention, you have to slow down. I learned from our pastor that we have like a 3 mile per hour God. I'm doing 100 on the highway. And if you do the speed limit, you know the rest of that song, right? And so it's like I'm always full speed ahead. And our culture in America, especially, conditions that in us. And so we have to learn how to take the time to slow down and be at that 3 mile per hour cadence. So, your aligned action this week. Let me finish that reading actually, because this was a good one. Follow me one step at a time. That is all I require of you. In fact, that is the only way to move through this space and time world. You see huge mountains looming, and you start wondering how you're going to scale those heights. Meanwhile, because you're not looking where you're going, you stumble on the easy path where I'm leading you now. Ain't that the truth? As I help you get back on your feet, you tell me how worried you are about the cliffs up ahead, but you don't know what will happen today, much less tomorrow. Our path may take an abrupt turn, leading you away from those mountains. There may be an easier way up the mountains than is visible from this distance. If I do lead you up the cliffs, I will equip you thoroughly for the strenuous climb. I will even give my angels charge over you to preserve you in all your ways. Keep your mind on the present journey, enjoying my presence. Walk by faith, not by sight, trusting me to open up the way before you. Woo! That just gets me so excited because literally, the realtor that ended up making miracles happen for us last week was someone I met thanks to just clicking Zillow tour request on a potential rental. But I've been a homeowner since I was 24 years old. I did not want to go back into the rental market. I really wanted to be a homeowner. And I've dreamed of owning a modern farmhouse for years. And guess who's bought one? Woo-woo! Leading my best life, my friends. I'm telling you, these strategies work. You need to get signed up for High Performance Leadership Academy and start deploying these in your life. It will change you forever, I promise. Okay, so, your action step is to frame your refusals this week. So, think about the things that derail you. And I want you to frame those refusal, or let me think about how to say this. I want you to think about the things that derail you, and then you're going to frame a refusal to do those things. So, it might be nagging, it might be overeating for that comfortable, full feeling, it might be indulging in alcohol. It might be yelling at your kid. It might be scrolling. It might be staying up too late. It might be that darn 2 or 3 p.m. sugar that you reach for. So, what we're going to do is use the words I don't. So, when I say frame a refusal, I mean I don't fill in the blank. This is why this is powerful. You know me, I'm a geek, so I'm going to be bringing you the research because I want you to have the most effective tools. When you have effective tools, you behave differently, right? Knowledge is power. When you know better, you do better. And then you add the emotional component and the inspired action and someone on your team cheering for your success and celebrating alongside of you. That's what High Performance Leadership Academy is all about. So, we're going to use the words I don't. And here's why. Dr. Vanessa Patrick, who's a Bauer Professor of Marketing at the University of Houston, reported on the power of self-talk in the Journal of Consumer Research. She found that when participants framed a refusal as I don't, for example, I don't eat chocolate cake, or I don't eat sugar, or I don't skip my workouts, or I don't yell at my kids, I don't nag, I don't engage in drama, I don't spend my time scrolling. Instead of I can't, they were more successful in resisting their desire to eat unhealthy foods or skip the gym. Saying I don't, get this, this might be something you want to note, was 3 times more effective than saying no. 3 times. And 8 times more effective than saying I can't. How often, a lot of us at this time of year have weight loss goals. I'm so happy to be celebrating. I got back from nearly 3 weeks on the road and I'm at 142.6. My big goal, I gained 19 pounds during COVID. Ironic, COVID 19, packed on 19. I wanted to decrease and get back to my pre COVID weight. Lost about 22 pounds, and then cancer struck, and I went on a major starve cancer diet due to the layoff. I had some insurance challenges, and I had the most aggressive, high growth type of tumor you could have. So I was literally fighting for my life, and I pulled out all the stops. So I lost about another 20. And I can't tell you how good it feels to be under 145 pounds. That was my dream, ambitious goal. So, whatever your big goal is, know that with strategy, with the right mindset, with the right communities cheering you on, those 3 things, strategy and systems, I guess that's kind of four things: strategies, systems, mindset, and community. You will be unstoppable at achieving your goals. That's why I've built this with great intention, because it will help you achieve anything. It helped me navigate divorce. It helped me navigate an unplanned pregnancy. It helped me quadruple my income. It helped me achieve financial freedom. It helped me lose the weight, beat cancer. I would be bald right now if I just followed Western medicine alone. That's why it's important to lead our lives, my friends. You are a leader. So let's rally. So when we say I can't, we diminish our power. Using the words I don't is 8 times more effective than that. So when we say, I can't do this, or I can't have chocolate, or I can't drink wine, we're diminishing ourselves. But when we say I don't, we're empowered, we're determined, and we're in control of our choices. It's a strong phrase. When we say I can't, we disempower ourselves and become weak and whiny. And the best thing is we can use this trick in all of the corners of our lives. I recently had some girl drama. I think was that December? Maybe, no, I think it was January actually. I can't remember in all honesty. I delete that. I don't have time for that in my life. And I say, I don't engage in drama. I don't engage in negative behavior. Raise the standards for yourself. My girl Robin Artzone talks about that all the time on her Peloton rides. When you raise your standards, you raise your results. So that might be something to write down as a big idea. Raise your standards, raise your results. I'm going to write it down with you. Let's go. Raise your standards, comma, raise your results. Hashtag Robin Artzone. Shout out, girl. I love you. So let's recap. Critical concept. Energy is your currency. When you manage energy, you gain time. Time is money, my friends. Time is the one thing you don't get back, also, by the way. I learned that wonderful line from Dean Graziosi. He talks about how we can earn money again. We can gain money, lose money, but we never get more time. You get this day, these 24 hours, and then you don't get them back. So let's manage our minutes with intention. Big ideas. What you eat after 2 p.m. determines the quality of your sleep, which sets the stage for your day. Raise your standards, raise your results, and our aligned actions are to ask God in the universe or power, whatever you believe, thank you for delighting in the details of my life. Please direct my steps today. Let me take one step in the right direction throughout this day. That's part one. I don't frame those refusals for the things that you observe derailing you. And then let me give you a few other ideas. Walk outside, sleep 8 to 9 hours per night. I want you to type in the comments, what are you going to commit to? Personal public accountability. Let's do it. Walk outside, sleep 8 to 9 hours a night, do 2 60-minute cardio activities per week, work out 5 minutes a day, do high intensity interval training 20 to 40 minutes a week, meditate once or twice a day, even if it's just for a minute, eat a whole food plant-based diet, heavy and nutrient dense foods. Let's see some of the others I'm looking at my scorecard. Drink 3 to 5 liters of water per day. Avoid all sugary drinks, alcohol, and caffeine, with the exception of green tea, which is okay. Limit white starches. That's one. Every 50 to 75 minutes, stand up at your desk, move and stretch. Try arm crosses, circles, knee highs, patting your lower back, really activating your Qigong meridians. Focus on speaking and gesturing with passion. Raise the vibrational energy using your tone of voice. Hug and engage people more often. Smile and make people laugh. Share the value that people bring to your life. Help them know how important they are. Focus on being present. Keep a gratitude journal. Those are some of the things in my scorecard. So all of those things will help raise and elevate your energy. I want to see what you're going to focus on so I can be cheering for your success this week. Let's go. Go out and shine your love and light into the world, my friends. Mwah.